place that is haunted. Right from the start, dear, built on an acre of sand.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. I'm Zada.
And I'm Kelly. And you're listening to
Two Sides in the Truth. Thanks for joining us again. We have quite the little episode. We just made our list of things we're talking about, and it is so all over the place.
I love it.
We'll see if we make it to the whole list.
That's always a goal.
Yeah. So
sometimes we could just get way down a rabbit hole.
Sometimes.
I mean, pretty much all the time.
I listened to not this last episode because I just posted it today, and I have not had a chance to finish it yet. I always listen right when we put it out, even though I was on it. I might forget what we talk about on occasion.
Right.
I don't, but I just talk so much. I can't remember what was podcast
it's a
material
lot of information.
and what I was just telling like a coworker, you know?
Yeah.
And so I always listen to it, but I listened to the one before this one that we just released, the Mother's Day one, and I was like, bitch, you were talking over Kelly left and right.
It's okay.
Pull it in. I'm sorry, Kelly. I apologize. It is not on purpose. I just can't shut up.
It's all right. I don't hold it against you.
All right.
And
I recognize
I really
it.
think that we have a good dynamic, though, because I don't talk that much. You really bring it out of me as a friend. Like, even when I'm hanging out with my friends, I don't talk that much.
That is true.
They just realize that that's it. And Kelly just likes to chill.
Yeah.
Unless you like stimulate me with conversation or ask me a question, then it doesn't really happen.
That is very true.
you know.
You're not the instigator of the conversation.
I really don't. I'm not. I don't instigate really anything.
Well, it makes me feel better because I was like the whole episode I was cringing at myself, and I was like, "Bitch, shut up! You are talking over her."
Sometimes I am like putting my hand up, like, "Hey."
I do it to Al and Amy too. Like I'm universally a talk over her, and I do it to Al, which Al will talk over me as well.
Yeah. He's a professional. He knows how to talk over
Yes,
people.
but I have done it to him, and I've listened to that podcast, and I'm like,
you know what I have for us today?
what?
We're gonna make tally marks for you know what I mean.
You know what I mean? Have I had one yet?
No, I don't think we have. But I thought about it. We're gonna see if we can keep
The
it down
episode
to
where
less
I
than 5.
thought it was my first time, and you were like, "No, it's not." Then when I listened to it, it was like my 7th time before I recognized
Dude,
it.
if people were doing the shot game, they'd be wasted.
I highly suggest everybody do a shot game to that. If you want to get drunk, take a shot every time I say, you know what I mean. Do you understand? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'll let you skip the ones that we just say, like, you know. It can actually be, if they did it for everything that's somewhat like, you know what I mean? Literally, I mean, you would not get.
I don't know if I do that in real life as much.
We do.
Damn it. I apologize.
It doesn't bother me.
I was listening and I was like, bitch, shut up.
When you're the problem, it doesn't really bother you.
Yeah, until you listen to yourself. I'm like, oh my Lord. Okay, so what we're going to talk about this week is graduation because I have a kid graduating, number 3 child.
We're almost
Zaley.
done, guys. We're almost there.
Oh my God. I first want to say this is literally my biggest accomplishment in life. Not my own education, not my raising 4 children by myself, not my career, not anything that I've done more than getting this kid out of fucking school because she's got autism, which, you know, that's great. I wouldn't change her. But it is there's challenges you have that other people don't have.
Yeah.
And so we're finally through it. We've made it. And the last, as y'all know, the last month and a half has been hell. Her anxiety is at an all-time high. I was just telling Kelly, I said, I better turn my ringer and everything off because I'm averaging once every 40 minutes a phone call. Exact. This weekend.
Just checking in, making sure you're still alive.
I would have to pee, and this weekend have to tell her, can you please step out of the bathroom that I just walked in to pee? Because she would follow me. She had to be within eyesight. If she wasn't doing something with a friend for like a senior thing, she was with me, like on me. Not just in the house with me. She had to be like within a foot of me.
Yeah. And I need to feel the vibes coming off of you.
And I love her to death, but that's overstimulation for me. So this week we have had something every single day. Monday, I had to go to school 5 times. 5 times. I took off, thank God. And I realize you have seniors that drive, but obviously she's not driving yet. And she can actually drive relatively-ish well, considering how much she's done it. But it's anxiety that we both agree it's not time yet.
Yeah.
And so I had to take her back up for different events. And it's consumed my life for 2 months, which is fine because we've worked for this and she deserves it. And I'm just real happy she's doing things,
Right.
So that's what we've been doing. Graduation is Friday night at 8 p.m. I might fall asleep because that's my bedtime. There are 594 kids in her class.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wait, no, I lied. 894 kids in her
my
class. I'm
God.
sorry.
Okay,
I don't
so
know why I said 5.
Well, 'cause that's what I was
894
thinking.
kids.
I think that there was around 500 whenever I graduated.
Yeah, 894 kids. It starts at 8 p.m. We're going to get done on like Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to be there all damn night.
I'll see you Sunday.
Basically. And so I'm just like, oh my
She's going to miss her graduation party because she's still at graduation.
At graduation. We all will be. I had to call my dad and I was like, dude, don't come to the graduation. Just come to the party because you don't need to be across, Dallas at 8 o'clock at night and then going up stadium seats and all, all that good stuff. So it's a big weekend for us. All my kids are super excited about it. The older kids are coming in town. Their friends are coming in town. I knew Amaris was coming, which is her best friend. That is like another child to me. And I knew her fiance was coming and they were going to all get an Airbnb.
Yeah.
That was the plan. My house is a 3-bedroom. Right before COVID hit, I downsized from a 5-bedroom to a 3-bedroom because all these kids moved out, and it was finally going to be just me and my 2 youngest kids. A month and a half later, COVID hit, and my 2 older kids moved home, and then my 2 bonus sons moved home, and I suddenly had a full house.
Oh my gosh!
It's just the house is not big enough for that.
No,
and so every time they come to visit, they trash my house. Like not because because they're messy. But it's home. Like they're home, they're getting comfortable and they lay out their blankets and they just camp out in the living room.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely fine normally. But I have been cleaning for a fucking week. My house was already clean first off. Like you walked in the other day, you're like, I don't even know what you cleaned. Like it looks the same. I'd been cleaning at that point for 30 hours. I swear. I dusted shampoo.
Oh my God.
I dusted my shampoo bottles. I'm not kidding.
I don't think that you are.
And I'm cleaning. Well, I mean, it's kind of just a really good summer clean before the summer starts too. Like
I think it's smart. That is smart.
So so she's like, suddenly she's like, oh, we didn't get an Airbnb after all, like we were talking about. So should I just bring an blow-up mattress?
Oh, good Lord.
I was like, girl, I love you, but you're not fucking up this living room. Because I got guests coming Saturday. And where are you going to put? Where are you going to be? You going to kick your brother out of his room? No. You're going to kick your sister out of her room?
Right.
No. And so it's like, okay, I got to figure something out. So I decided that we're going to bring the camper to the house, which we now have. Rick went and got it today.
That's smart. Very nice.
But my house is 100 years old, so you can't like plug it in.
Yeah, there's not going to be any hookups.
Yeah. And it's Texas, so it's hot. It's not as hot as it will be, but it's hot.
Yeah. Hot enough.
But my son and his girlfriend have a portable AC unit, like the kind you put ice in, but it's a big one. Like this is one for a whole big room.
Yeah.
And we've used it before and it works great. We used it at the cabin upstairs where it gets warm.
Yeah.
And so I was like, we could put that on an extension cord.
Now we're thinking.
And now they can just sleep there. That's all they need is to put their shit in there so it's not taking over my house and sleep there.
Yep.
So Zoe's like, okay, well, I'm coming Thursday. I have to go pick her up, actually. She's coming Thursday, and then her best friend, Amaris, and her fiance are coming Friday, and then her friend Gabby is flying in from a trip she's on to Dallas, and she's Ubering to our house, and she's going.
Wow.
I've met Gabby maybe once. I was like, why is Gabby coming?
Because it's a party.
It's a party.
I'm sorry.
She said, that's my daughter's other best friend.
Yeah.
I just wanted Gabby to experience the Owens and Dumbcombs.
Wow.
And that's my kid's last
get ready.
name. Just FYI, my kid's last name is Dumbcomb. That's a different story. That's legit their last name. Sorry, children. And so...
Red flag you didn't stop at.
Oh, that's exactly what my mom said. Holy shit, you didn't see those red flags? And so we got the camper. We're going to they're going to just sleep in there. And my son and his daughter are going to go to her family's house. And so we found sleeping arrangements for everybody.
So happy for you.
We're going to have
Where
a good
am I
weekend.
sleeping?
mean, we got a couch now because I kicked out.
Just kidding.
Holy shit, I'm going to move everybody in. So we got party coming up. And here's something that I ran into. This is I'm kind of skipping, and I'm going to talk about.
You go wherever you want.
It has to do with Zaley. Okay, so Zaley, being autistic, the last few years she's never struggled socially. Like even at her worst behavior, before she was diagnosed, after she was diagnosed, we were trying to figure out the right medications for her, and she was really struggling, and she was getting out of control at school, and we were really struggling. The worst of the worst times. She always maintained friends. She always had a good crowd. She was honestly kind of popular. And she was like, at one point when she was in 6th or 7th grade, the school called me and said, we don't know what to do because she wants to sit with the kids that are not in special education, because those are her friends.
Yeah.
She likes the kids in special education. She's friendly with them, but the kids she ran with were the popular kids. Mm-hmm. She was a real cute girl, you know, and she's outgoing and fun and everything. And they were like, we've never had a popular kid in special education, basically. And we don't know what to do because do you feel comfortable with her sitting with those kids? I'm like, yes, that's what I want. And she takes out classes. So she's in their classes and stuff.
Yeah.
Half of them didn't realize she had autism, honestly, because she's so high functioning. But they would see her act out and just think she was out of control.
Man, she great.
Man, that kid crazy. But they still liked her,
yeah.
you know? And so her freshman year, she was on the drill team. And did well, made a lot of friends, and everything was great. And she made tons of friends. And towards the end of the drill team, her freshman year of the drill team like season, one of the girls who she had become particularly close with stopped talking to her, and I mean cut her off. Like, and they were good friends. Like she would come to our house, they would spend the night. Zaley would go to her house, spend the night. Like this was her buddy.
Yeah.
And I really liked her mom and everything. And she just stopped talking to her and just disconnected. And I asked Zaley what happened. Zaley was like, I don't know. She just doesn't like me anymore. I don't know what happened. She just doesn't like me. And I was like, okay, well, that happens. You know, it's fine. You get other friends. Well, then her other friends stopped talking to her, all her drill team friends. Like they would talk to her like hi and bye. They weren't rude. They just stopped inviting her to things. She stopped getting included, you know. Well, she didn't know why. And she just kind of was like, okay. So she kind of started making different friends. And then the second year they made drill team again. And her sophomore year, she was on JV drill team, and she made like officer for JV drill team. And some of the girls she had been friends with the year before made varsity. And those girls stopped talking to her completely. And then the girls that were left on the team were really rude to her and condescending. And it just got really uncomfortable. So she's an officer. She's worked really hard for it, especially being autistic.
Yeah.
And she stopped wanting to go to school. It became a big ordeal. And that's when you know Zaley has a problem, when she doesn't want to go to school.
Yeah. You're like, uh-oh, what happened?
She's avoiding something, you know? And so she told me, everybody in drill team is mean to me. Everybody hates me. They won't let me, they've told me not to sit with them at lunch. Like mean shit. Yeah. You know? And so she made a new group of friends. And really, she didn't make a new group of friends. She started hanging out with her now freshman brother's friends. I guess that happened her junior year. Her sophomore year, she just kind of slid through. It was her junior year she found her brother's friends because he was a freshman, and she but he didn't like that. Those his friends.
Yeah, duh.
And I mean, he tried to like it, but it was kind of like, dude, get your own friends. You know,
I can feel you.
Understandable. Yeah. And I mean, he didn't kick her out of the table though. He went to dig.
You can't sit with us.
Yeah, and so that so then her junior year, she struggled with friends, and for the first time in her life, and latched on to those friends. And then her beginning of the summer between junior and senior year, she got a little boyfriend, sweet kid. He became her life. Like that was her social life. That's who she talked to. That's who she texted. That's who she hung out with at lunch. That's who she hung out with, whatever.
Yeah.
And then his friends became her friends. And then she didn't really have a friend group. So she didn't develop a friend group because she just adopted his friend group.
That's a slippery slope.
And so I told her that. I was like, girl, you need to maintain some friendship.
Yeah, you have to.
This is going to bite you in the ass. I gave examples in my life with her father. I ran into a situation like that, kind of. I gave her examples. And, you know me. My girlfriends are my life. Like, I learned that lesson. So I was trying, but she didn't listen. So they break up 3 weeks before prom, which is a month and a half before the end of her senior year. Suddenly, she has no one to sit with at lunch. She has no friends. She starts all over again at the end of her senior year.
Yikes.
And so you can see why she doesn't want to go to school.
Oh, yeah. That's a lot to have to deal with.
Right. And so it's been a battle. It has affected me. It's affected her. It's affected you. You've had to help us. It's affected all of us.
Oh, yeah.
And so we didn't really, and the reason I'm telling this story is because one of the girls from her freshman and sophomore year that she was friends with, who maintained a relationship with her, but just stopped inviting her to things, but maintained a friendship with her and was kinder. And that little girl was on drill team, varsity drill team, popular little girl. And she reached out to Zaley the last few weeks and was like, hey, do you have anyone going to this senior event with? Are you going to this senior event? Would you like to go with me? Would you like to go here with me? Would you like to join me? And I was like so thankful this little girl was like including her.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, seriously, kind girl. And they've been friends since they were in 5th or 6th grade, and they were in dance class together and junior high together.
Oh.
So Saturday they go for a senior activity, and while they're at the senior activity, they run into this girl, the girl that stopped talking to her completely her freshman year. Let's call her Lisa. That's not her name, but we're going to call her Lisa. So she says, her friend says, listen, I got to tell you something, and it's really been heavy on my heart. And this is a good little Christian girl, and a hard worker. She says, it's been heavy on my heart for a long time, and I got to tell you something. So Zaley's like, yeah. She goes, the reason everyone stopped talking to you, it's like the first time anyone's acknowledged they legit did it.
Yeah, they just did it and never said anything.
No conversation.
No.
She goes, the reason was Lisa basically said, Polisa basically said, I don't want y'all friends with her. She's autistic. She's weird. She's annoying. Why are y'all friends with her? And that little girl was new to the district, and Zaley was one of the first kids she met and made friends with. So Zaley introduced her to the other girls.
Yeah.
And then she took the girls from her. Mm-hmm. Basically, if you're going to be her friend, you can't be in our friend group. And they're the little popular girls. And so they're like, we're not going to, and they're all in drill team together and everything. So they're not going to,
so they felt the pressure of,
it was peer pressure.
We gotta do this because we don't want to be out too.
Right. But they were still nice to her. Like they'd see her and say hi. They never treated her poorly. They just stopped including
They just
her.
cut her out. Yeah.
And when I was a senior in high school, I went to a very small school. I graduated 100 and it was supposed to be 120 kids. I think maybe 100 walked, and a girl that I'd gone to school with since maybe 4th grade had a best friend since maybe 4th grade. And that best friend was the meanest kid in the school. And she was just a bully. And she did the same thing to her best friend since 4th grade. She said, basically, she didn't have enough money to be our friend. You cut her out or I cut you out. And she lost her entire friend group the second half of her senior year.
That's horrible.
Completely. And so my friend group took her in. And she'd been mean as shit to us. Like, her friend did not care for us.
Yeah.
And so we took her in because we recognized her friend's a bully.
Yeah,
and
you saw what was happening.
Yeah. And I felt bad for her, so I took her in. And she was a great person. Like, there was nothing wrong with her. She just had a shitty best friend, And those are the type of girls that give friendships among women a bad name.
That's so true.
And so that's what I recognize. So McKenna says, basically, this is why we stopped being your friend. And she said, and she goes, and then last year I had a falling out with her and I stopped being her friend and she tried to do the same thing to me. But it didn't work for me because I was on varsity drill team and she wasn't on drill team anymore. And so I was closer to the girls she was excluding.
Yeah.
And so Zaley did not know any of this till she was told on Saturday. And she came home and she was like, you're not going to believe what I got told. This explains so much.
Yeah.
Which really affected her.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was like, wow, okay, Well, I love this little girl's mom. She's a lovely lady. And I doubt she has any clue what happened. I know she doesn't. She might have a idea of they're not friends anymore, but not know why.
Yeah.
And so we've always been friendly with each other. She follows me on social media. She might listen to the podcast. And if she does, she will now recognize herself and from this story. And so we go to her baccalaureate on Sunday. So she finds out on Saturday, and then on Sunday we go to baccalaureate. And we go, and I go by myself. It's like a church service for kids graduating.
Yeah.
So I go by myself because Rick is back home grilling for dinner, and who else? I have no family around here, so it's just me. So I'm there. This Lisa's mom comes in and sits 3 or 4 chairs down from me. I see her. I know who it is. I don't look at her directly because I don't know how to deal with the situation, and that's my kid, But they're about to graduate. Like, you got to pick your battles.
That's true.
So I'm like, all right. So we sit through the baccalaureate. Everything's fine. Baccalaureate's over. I get up to leave. She gets up to leave. She turns and that's when she realizes I'm sitting 3 or 4 seats down from her because there's no seats between us. Like, no one's sitting between us. Mm-hmm. She goes, oh my God, I didn't even see you there. I was like, oh yeah, how are you? Da, da, da. We talked for a second. Great. We go out to the lobby where the seniors are going to meet us. And Zaley finds me immediately because she's Zaley and she's going to hone in on me.
Of course.
And
she's like a beacon.
I need a tracker for her. And so she gets to me and we're going to leave. And we run into Lisa's mom again. And she goes, oh, Zaley, how are you? And she is like,
I love how all the names have just dropped.
I know. No, Lisa is the fake name.
It's still Lisa. Okay. I thought that was really her name.
No.
I was so into that.
I know. I'm sorry. Palisa. So Palisa's mom is like, she doesn't have Palisa with her, but she says, let me take y'all's picture together, which is very sweet. So you're by yourself. I said, great. So she takes our picture, and then Palisa walks up and joins her mom. And I'm like, well, are you by yourself? She said, yeah. I said, well, let me take y'all's picture. So take her picture. And in my head, I'm thinking, if she has no clue what's gone on, what if she asks for a picture of the girls together?
Ooh.
Because that's where I'm going to have to put my foot down.
Oh, yeah. You're like, no.
You know? So as soon as I take the picture, okay, we got to go. We have dinner on the table. Turn around, and I leave. And in my head, I was like, should I have said something? No, I should. It was the wrong time, wrong place. It's pointless now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Damage has already been done.
But it answered so many questions about the last few years. Like, that little girl destroyed Zaley's social life.
That's horrible.
Because she was just being a fucking bitch. And her mom's kind as can be. And her mom probably has no clue why it happened.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I just kept thinking, Zaley's autistic. All these kids know she's autistic. If you choose to make friends with, she's very open about it. Zaley does not hide it. If you choose to make friends with someone with some kind of special need, and then they act like they have a special need, and suddenly you don't want to be their friend, that's fucking on you, dude.
You're the problem.
You're the problem. You're the problem. So it made me understand Zaley a little bit better too, and kind of what she'd been going through.
Right.
I mean, I knew she goes through stuff like that. Zol's dealt with a lot more of kids not being annoyed by him because he has ADHD, so he doesn't shut up. I wonder where he gets it. And so, you know, sometimes he annoys people that way, and they'll tell him you're annoying. You know, whereas Zaley, she's not talking over people. She's just excited about everything. Like she's hyper focuses and, you know, has questions, and she's not doing anything though, like talking over you. And you know what I mean? Fuck, write it down.
Take a
shot.
I've already got a couple. I've been doing the as well, but that's just like a second running to the.
That's my first one. I recognized I did,
but I think there's been one more that I didn't catch, but there's at least two.
Bless
what
my
are you
heart.
drinking over there?
A whiskey and water because I'm on a diet.
You know that the whiskey still kind of like.
I know, but if you're gonna have to
kills you,
pick,
right?
Yeah, I know. But if you got to pick one, you know.
I understand.
This is the one I pick. And this is my introduction to my 5-day weekend because I'm on a 5-day weekend now. It's officially a holiday for me. Anyways, that was what we learned. That is what we're in the middle of. That is what we're dealing with. I'm very, very, very thankful for McKenna. And that is her real name. McKenna stepping up and being a good person. Her parents definitely did a good job.
That's hard. That's a hard thing to do.
Yeah. And McKenna also has a special needs brother. So she recognizes that. So it's a combination of good parents, and she lives it, you know. But this other little girl, man, it took every inch of me to not be like, bitch.
Well,
I wouldn't say that.
Sometimes you just got to take the high road.
I will say that the girl that was a problem for me in high school, and the one that did that to her, to that other girl in high school, she used to, I've told this story on one of the podcasts at some point, but she used to bully this girl that was special needs that we had gone to school with since kindergarten. You know, we knew this girl whole life. And she used to bully this girl. And I couldn't believe it. Like, she was bullying a special needs kid. Like, I couldn't even wrap my brain around that in high school. And I witnessed it once. And I was like, oh, it's on now. I already didn't like her.
Right.
But now it's on.
Yeah.
I got along with everyone in high school. I didn't have anyone I didn't get along with but this one girl. I made it. I'm a lot bigger than her. I'm a big girl. I made it my life's mission to make her miserable. And I told her that. I said, listen, if you want to bully someone that can't defend themselves, okay, you do you. So do I, bitch.
Get ready.
And I pushed that bitch in the lockers every fucking day of her senior year. And I was like, how's it feel to be bullied, bitch? How's that feel? You don't like it when someone bigger than you and meaner than you can bully you? You don't like it? She's lucky she didn't get put in a fucking locker. If they were bigger, I would have put that bitch in there. So that went on my senior year. My 20-year high school reunion, she shows up. I've not seen her, talked to her, nothing. 20 years. 20-year high school reunion. She beelines to me. And I'm like, fuck.
Uh-oh.
She comes up to me. I just want to apologize. Turns out she has a special needs kid.
Oh, that isn't.
If that's not karma, and she goes, I want to apologize. I know what you did. I know why you did it. I understand it. And I was a bitch. And you're the only person that put me in my place because you did not care. And you're the only one. And I think about you often.
Wow.
And I was like, thank you. Don't know that I still like you, but thank you. No, I don't. I let it go at that point. But for 20 years, I was pissed at this bitch over how she treated Meredith.
Ain't going to do that up in here.
I mean, if you're going to bully someone, that's fine. I'm going to bully you back.
Right. I'm sorry. If you're going to dish it out, you got to be able to take it.
Yeah, especially special needs people, because obviously I have kids with autism. But before I had kids with autism, I had a fucking heart.
Right?
Yeah.
You just don't do that.
No.
Like, you just don't mess with people that have any kind of mental health issues, physical
anything
issues. You just don't. You're supposed to want to help them and to protect them. Like, why do you not have that instinct? People who don't have that instinct, we're not going to get along. We're not going to get along.
I'm going to burn you at the stake.
Like, and if they're, because I know that some special needs people can be very hard to deal with.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm not saying that you should put yourself into a situation where you're being abused or hurt or anything like that.
Right.
But you're not going to treat them horribly.
How hard is it just to walk past them in school and not fuck with them?
Exactly. And if they're a problem, go and find a staff or somebody that can help you out. Like, you do not have to take that into your own
But the girl
hands.
she was bullying didn't have a mean bone in her body.
That's always, man.
Girl as sweet as can be. And let me tell you, I invited this girl my senior year. I invited her to our senior walk, I involved the girl in everything. And, she didn't have any friends. She didn't get, so I was like, yeah, come with us. I wanted her to enjoy her senior activities, so I'd invite her on all these senior activities. And so she'd go with us and did all the, these things. I'd known her since we were 5, Write that down. Take a shot, everybody. I moved back to Ellis County like 15 years ago, and I go to the movies. Right after I moved here, I take my kids to the movies, and I walk into the movie theater, and there she is. And I've not seen her since high school, and there she is. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Meredith. Oh my God, that's awesome. So I approach her. I'm like, oh my God, Meredith, how are you doing? It's me, Zada. No clue who I was. No clue. Look on her face, was like, who?
I was your petty crime fighter.
I literally gave her prom dress.
I was doing the Lord's work.
Yeah, and nothing.
Well, that's not the reason you do it.
That is not why you do it. But I was surprised. Like, I've known her a long time.
It's kind of hard for you not to make an impression on somebody.
I mean, that's why I was a little shocked.
I'm just saying.
That's all I'm saying. And she was by herself at the movies. She looked amazing. She was dressed to the nines.
I love her already.
And I was like, hell yeah. So I'm still your cheerleader, even though you don't remember who I am.
Get it.
That's my little story about graduation, Zaley, and all the wonderful things. So, Zaley is on to bigger and better things, and she's going to do great things.
I'm so proud.
Yeah, I'm proud of her too. And we've been preparing for this party and this weekend. And like I said, the house was clean. Like, I looked around my living room, kitchen. I was like, 3 hours tops. I can dust every single thing. I can sweep. I can mop. That's all it needs. I'm on day 8. I don't know. Fuck.
How have you not run out of things to do?
Because I'm dusting shampoo bottles.
Right, obviously.
I'm like, oh man, I haven't used this shampoo in a long time. It's awful dusty. Fuck, stupid.
Let's clean the shampoo.
I pulled all my makeup out. Once I got to the bathroom, my bathroom, I pulled all the makeup out and reorganized it and cleaned the bins out that it goes in and sorted it.
You're like straight up OCD cleaning.
I'm OCD in it.
Yeah.
But it feels good.
I know. It does.
I love it.
That's one of the things that I do to relax. Does it relax me? Absolutely not. But in my mind, I think it's going to.
Yeah.
I like order, and I like having things off the floor, and I like having things where they go, and I like, I line things up, and I have those tendencies. So,
yeah.
Once
It
I get
feels
into
good.
it does. It really you feel a sense of accomplishment,
Right.
and you feel like you've. I can't ever like control really any part of my life, so I feel like if I can make my room look really nice, at least that's one thing.
Right. It's like making your bed every day.
Right.
And I don't usually drink at home, as you know, unless it's an occasion or whatever. I'm not
Like
I
a
don't-
Wednesday.
Yeah, like a Wednesday.
Because I'm off on Wednesdays.
Yeah. Duh.
Special occasion.
But I don't keep liquor in my liquor cabinet really. I mean, if someone gives me some, it'll be in there. But it's about write that down. Shot.
Speaking of liquor.
But after Saturday of cleaning and I didn't finish, and I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm not even close to done. Like I really worked my ass off today. And Zaley was in it and helping me like better than ever. And so I was like, I need a bottle of wine. Like I need to at least enjoy myself as I'm doing this. So I bought a bottle of wine, and I was drinking a bottle of wine throughout the day. Like I finished one bottle of wine of all of Sunday. I spread it out the whole day. And then Monday hit, and I was off Monday, and I was like, I need another bottle of wine because I'm still clean.
We got to keep this up. That worked so well yesterday.
I mean, clearly, because I'm not done yet. And then Rick, who's supposed to be helping me prepare for this, is like, all right, I said, I need you to bring the camper for the kids to sleep in. I want lights for the back porch because ours, half of them are burned out. And that's really all I asked him to do. Like that's, I mean, he'll do things. He's productive, but he doesn't know what to do. And I really don't want him helping me clean because he's going to piss me off. But he needs to
stay out of my way.
But do something and be productive. So he's out doing his own thing. And this is what he's done for prep without me telling him what to do on his own. I did tell him about the camper. He brought the camper. I did tell him about the lights. I requested, will you get me some lights? And he did. And then he hung them and he did a great job. But then he's doing other things. He's weed eating like we're doing on the back patio. And there was some poison ivy back there. He had to get rid of that and do a few things that way. This is what else. This is the only other thing he did. He found some old records of his and like the artwork that goes in the records, and he hung those in the garage. That's his man cave. Mm-hmm. And then he found his cork board that I would not hang on my bedroom wall because it was on his bedroom wall before he moved in. And he got all offended. He thought I threw it away for a minute. And I was like, no, dude, man, just hit it. He put that up in the man cave.
Decorated his man cave.
He did. That was his. I cleaned the whole fucking house and he decorated the man cave.
Well, priorities.
I mean, it is what it is. But I did
true.
today. I did come home. He was off today because it was rainy and he's a roofer. And I came home today and he'd actually done a ton of stuff I didn't even know needed to be done outside, but he did it and it looks great. And he's helping. But I thought it was funny that he's like over there hanging posters, and I'm resurrecting Christ in the sunroom. Really, I'm just cleaning baseboards, but it's the same thing.
It feels like the same thing.
And I'm sore. I went to work on Tuesday after 3 days of cleaning. Sore like you would have thought I worked out for a triathlon. Like cleaning baseboards is hard.
It is.
Yeah. It's not for the faint.
Tedious work.
It's tedious.
It
yeah.
is.
That's it. That's all I got to say about that. What's next?
All right. Moving on.
Promotion, question
to
mark?
summer. Well, okay. So here we go. Summertime, I go full time in summertime because we do a full day camp. It's not just after school. So I'm going full time in summer. Now,
I know you usually hate it.
I do. You know what? I love summertime. I really do, but it makes for such a long day. And when you are with that many kids and you're doing everything that you're doing and you're doing the field trips and all this kind of stuff, like it gets to be pretty exhausting. But I love summertime. But I am really excited about this summertime because my bosses love me and I'm their favorite, and they gave me a middle shift. So I don't have to come in super early and I don't have to close. I'm just middle of the day, and I'm making sure everybody's lunches are covered and, doing my thing. And I'm really happy, and I'm still getting my Wednesdays off. So that's awesome.
That's
too.
awesome. Yeah.
Very excited about that. Well, my boss came to me the other day. Well, they had been talking to me for a while. They wanted me to move up. They want me to be an administrator. I have turned it down for a really long time because I really enjoy the hands-on work that I actually do with the kids.
You're really good with kids. Yeah.
I like being in the rooms with the kids, planning the things, doing the things, playing the games with them. Like, I'm not just a teacher or a staff that like stands and like just makes sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do.
Active.
Like, I'm in it. If there's a game, I'm one of the teams. I'm playing. I'm doing the things with them. And I really enjoy that. That's where you really get to know the kids and you get to know what makes them tick, and you get to their trust, and like they really get attached to you that way. And that's the way that you manage kids that aren't your own. Like, I can't just take my mom and like beat them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You have to persuade them to do what you want them to do. And that if you can't, then okay, well,
Yeah.
you really can't do anything
Yeah.
else, you know? So I really have shied away from like moving up and doing any kind of administrative position because I don't want to lose that what I do already. But there's two bosses and there's
I love the fact that both of us don't want promotions. But go ahead.
There's the big boss, the boss lady, and then there's the second boss that's the administrator. And the big boss is having to move up to like area because they don't have enough people to cover our area, so they're needing her to move up. Which then the other boss is going to move up to her
position.
CEO position, and they need an administrative. And so she has told me, of course, you're my first pick. You're who I want to move into this position. She's like, I know that you like your lax hours, but it would really be beneficial. Like we would work well. Obviously, me and her work really well together. So it wouldn't be too much of. Obviously, I'd still have to learn the position and everything, but we would be able to do it more seamlessly than it would to bringing in an outside person.
Didn't you kind of do some
know.
aspects of that before you left this location?
I was a lead. I wasn't an administrator, but they had a lead position, so I was in charge of helping to train the staff and to make the scheduling and things that I am going to be doing. But she got all of those things that I was doing when I left.
Okay.
And now there's no longer a lead position. It's just part of the administrative job. So I would be doing those sorts of things and then scheduling and other kinds of things or whatever. But so I don't know. That's one thing that I'm kind of juggling with. Like, I really want to be able to. I want to be able to step in and help them out because obviously I really love the Boys and Girls Club and I want it to be able to function really well. I'm at one of the top performing Boys and Girls Clubs like in the state.
I believe you because my kids went to some daycares and my son went there for 6 months is all because we didn't really need it very long. It's the only daycare he ever liked. And that was before you worked there.
Yeah.
And it's the only daycare he has ever even come close to like he enjoyed it and didn't want to go home.
Yeah. And that's
they
what
do
I
an
love.
amazing job.
And I really love the club and I want it to be the best that it can be. Yeah. Obviously it's great. But at the same time, I'm just like, but I really don't want to. First of all, I don't want the big girl hours, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't want to lose.
I feel you, girl. I feel you.
What I'm doing. But I told her, like, she came to me another time just yesterday. I was like, we could really use you something. So I told her I'm leaning towards going ahead and doing it because I do want. You're never going to know how it's going to go unless you try it.
Right.
And so I tell myself,
worst case scenario, you step down.
Yeah. And then I'll learn more skills, and like skills are always
now, will
good,
you get your Wednesdays off or they take that?
I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to swing that anymore. See,
right.
I'm going to see if so, because that's something that would be like a really big deal, or we'll only have to do like half days or something.
How
like
about
that.
a half day on Fridays?
See?
Because that benefits me too.
Right? These are our stipulations. Zada wants me
Zada
to
said sometimes we have girls' weekends.
We can make this work. No, but I'm thinking about it, and so that's something that is coming up, and I might be getting a promotion. It might be,
you're figuring it out. I feel you. I
don't know. I like being free though.
Same.
But it's okay.
I remind myself, at work, when they hired me here, where I am now, my previous life, I was upper management in big box retail. And I'd been doing it 25 years, and I'd worked my way up to where I basically just walked around and told people what to do, and that's it. And it was awesome. It was easy. I mean, it was easy, but it wasn't easy. It was hard. But for me, it was easy compared to what I used to do and compared to grunt work.
Yeah.
And I needed to be home more. I had a stress-induced seizure from it, and I needed to be home more, and I need to be present with my children more. And I got divorced, and I couldn't work as much, and all that kind of stuff. So when I got this job, first off, I can't believe they hired me because in the interview, I'm like, I want to work as little as possible. I want to be around my kids. I have 2 kids with special needs. I will have to leave work on occasion. They have a doctor's visit every month. I don't know why they hired me, but they did.
But they did.
And because my resume was pretty fucking impressive. And so they were like, well, you ready? You want to do management? You want to do management? And it's not retail. I'm in construction. You want to do management? I was like, nope. No, I don't. No, I don't. And they hired me thinking they were going to talk me into management.
Oh, yeah.
I hit 9 years this summer. Not in management. In
Not
fact, I'm in the
management.
same position I started in. And they're like, you should apply for this. You should apply for that. This position's available. You'd be perfect. And I'm like, no, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't understand why you don't want to do these things. I was like, I don't think you understand. I come to work for insurance. That's it. I don't even have to work. Like, I come for insurance. Like,
That's why I'm here. I'm sorry.
I
don't know what to tell you.
I have been in my life where I needed a ton of money and I had to work multiple jobs, but I'm not there anymore. And no thanks.
Who asked me about? Dante asked me about insurance the other day because he had got some kind of bacterial. Or actually, he thinks it was like super bad allergies in his eye, but he thought it was pink eye. But he ended up going in, and they really think that it's just a really bad allergy infection.
It's happened to me
eye.
before too. Yeah.
And so he was like, but he didn't have to pay anything because he has really good insurance. I was like, that's awesome. And he's like, do you have good insurance? I was like, no. He's like, you don't have good insurance? I was like, no, I don't have insurance. He's like, oh, you don't have insurance? I was like, no. I was like, I've never had insurance ever since like my mom, aged out from under them. I've never had insurance.
My son called me the other day and he goes, hey, what's our insurance information? I'm about to get some new contacts. And I was like, you are 24.
You were not
I
underage.
cut you off years ago. You're not a student. What?
It's called Get Your Own.
Yeah. And he was like, oh. I was like, bless your heart.
Welcome to the real
I
world.
told him, he didn't remember.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I feel you. I understand. But I do think that there are times in your life where maybe it's not a bad idea to do those things.
That's true.
And now that Zaley's finished school, Zaley's been my biggest focus. Zol doesn't need as much of that. He is way more self-sufficient. And I'm Zaley's world, you know.
Yeah.
I'm her world. And I'm not complaining about that. I love her. But I'm going to get a little more freedom with her not being in school. And I don't have to go to all her extra meetings and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And actually, I hit 9 years this summer. But the way my company works is your 10th year. So January 1st, because my 10th year will be August of next year. Once you hit the year, whatever year that is, January of that year, you automatically get an extra week of vacation.
Woohoo.
And so I'll be there 10 years as of next year, but as of January 1st, I start getting that benefit, right? Well, I gain another week. So I get I think about 8 weeks.
What?
A year.
That is awesome.
It's not just vacation,
Oh my
it's PTO.
gosh.
It's
That
PTO.
is so cool.
So my boss the other day was like, you know what, Zada, I did the math. Because he's a year behind me. And so he goes, I did the math the other day. And once you hit that 10 years, because he hits 10 years the year after me, he goes, you could take off every other Friday for the year.
That is sweet.
And I was like, I could have a 4-day work week every other week. He goes, yes. I was like, tempting, but I like to travel.
Right.
So I need to actually have
more of that, yeah.
more than that. But all these years, I've used all my vacation on my children for doctor's visits, therapy visits, going to the school to deal with situations visits, school meetings.
Yeah.
Zaley has taken 2 to 3 weeks of my vacation every year for her entire life.
Yeah.
And so suddenly I don't have to go to school all the time.
Right.
I don't have to do all these. Once she hits 18 this summer, I don't have to be there for the doctor's visit. I just have to pay for it, you know? And write that down, you know. I didn't say you know what I mean, though.
Yeah. I know.
Write that on the second
You know what I
one.
mean?
So I'm pretty excited about that. I feel like I'm about to have a whole new quality of life is the moral of this story.
I'm so happy for you.
I am excited for me, too. All right, so let's go on to your next subject, which is dreams, because Kelly's been having crazy dreams.
I have always had crazy dreams my entire life. Going back to as young as I can think, I've always had super vivid dreams. And almost to the point where I can't differentiate between what's real and what isn't real. So I can go to sleep and I can see everything. I can smell. All of my senses work. I see, I smell, I taste, touch. Everything seems exactly the same. There's been times that I've been in dreams and I've finally realized that I was in a dream. And I look down at my hands and I look around and there's one particular, I was standing next to somebody who was smoking a cigarette and I could smell the smoke. And I was like, how is this not real? This has to be real. And I was like, give me that cigarette. And I took a puff off of it and I started coughing and I coughed myself awake.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, So it's like that. Like it's really hard. And I get stuck in REM sleep. Have gotten stuck in REM sleep before, and it's really hard for me to wake myself up out of it. So I can get really horrible dreams and I can't wake up, or sometimes they're good dreams and I just want to, I just can't wake myself up. I've had to been woken up out of dreams before because I've stayed asleep for entirely too long. So it's kind of scary, but my dreams are just crazy, and they seem to be getting worse. Like, and that happens sometimes too. Like I'll go into lulls and then like highs. Since I've been with Dante, there's been a few times that I've woken up like either screaming or crying so he's used to it, but it hasn't happened in a really long time that I've been woken up that way.
I don't know if I've ever woken up like that.
Really? Well,
I mean, I do wake up from dreams and I'm like, don't like that dream. Let's move to the next one.
Well,
like I'll wake myself up.
I actually prefer waking up because sometimes I can't. Sometimes I'm just stuck and you wouldn't even know something's going on. But it was the other night I woke up and I was breathing hard and I was obviously like crying and stuff like that, and he realized it and calmed me down. But of course then I feel bad because I'm like, I didn't mean to wake you up, but it's crazy. It's really hard. So my dreams have gotten so crazy here lately, and like I had one the other day. Like, have you ever had a dream and then like you're mad, like somebody in the dream did something wrong, like
you wake up
with
mad
your
at
boyfriend or something, and then you wake up and you're mad at them, like where
I've not actually been mad, but I've been like I would be mad at you right now. What's going on? Why am I dreaming about this?
Because I had a dream that Dante had another kid with somebody and he didn't tell me about it.
Oh, yeah.
And it was so vivid. It was so real like, and of course I wake up and I'm like, you got another kid? Like, no. You're a serial killer and you got another kid?
It's all coming out now. It's okay though, because I get to drive your Jeep everywhere.
That's been really nice. Side note, my boyfriend got a new Jeep
and it's beautiful.
It's mine now because possession is 9/10 of the law. So it's mine.
Every time she shows up in it, I was like, I see what you're doing here.
I do that.
You can start driving us everywhere.
Right?
I don't really have those. It's funny because there's only one dream as a child that I remember. I remember one dream, honestly, out of all my dreams, my whole life, one bad dream. And it's the stupidest bad dream. It's not even scary. But my dad lived in Arkansas in McNeil. No, that's before McNeil, in Magnolia, Arkansas. And he lived right across the street from Kmart. And like his house faced the side of the Kmart parking lot. And, back then the blue law was still in effect. I don't know if you remember the blue law. You might be too young.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
But the blue law used to be in the South, and it was where all stores were closed on Sundays.
Oh.
So Walmart, Kmart, malls, Target. That's why on Sundays, malls and stuff have shorter hours. They originally used to not be able to be open.
Interesting.
And so when I was growing up, the blue law was in effect. I think it changed when I was maybe in 5th or 6th grade. They got rid of the law. And so there was nothing but church. And I think there were restaurants open. I'm not even 100% sure about that because we were pretty poor. So we didn't go to a lot of restaurants. But Kmart was closed. And so my brother and I would go over to Kmart and ride around the parking lot all the time in our bikes on Sunday because we had a whole parking lot to ride bikes on. And they had ramps in the back for the trucks and stuff. So we'd go back and ride on the ramps. And it was fun. And they would have these stickers for like specials, and it'd be like a whole roll of stickers that for some, like they were probably merchandising, and it was in the basket, and someone took the basket outside. So we'd always find these rolls of stickers for like 59 cents, $1.50, whatever, these big orange round stickers. Mm-hmm. And so we had stickers all over the damn place. We were taking these stickers all over the place. So
I'm $1.50.
Yeah. And we really enjoyed the Kmart on Sundays, hanging out and playing. Zola and I would. And one day, after we finished playing at Kmart, we crossed back over across the street, and our street was kind of a busy street. And there was a fender bender right in front of the house next door to my dad's. Fender bender, barely a wreck, fender bender. Mm-hmm. And Zola and I witnessed it. And one of the people got out and yelled at the other person. And I don't remember if it was the person who they hit or what, but one person was yelling. And I was scared. I'm talking, I was probably 6. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, wow, okay, they're yelling at each other. So I run in the house and get my dad. And I'm like, they're yelling at each other outside. And this is real life. This is not the dream. This is what happened. This is what led up to the dream.
Yeah.
So then that night I have a dream that it's a much worse wreck. and I don't see anything gory. It's just a much worse wreck, and someone died, but you didn't see them dead, but you knew they died.
You're like, nobody's that came out of that alive.
And the lady that was yelling at, or the man, I honestly don't know if it was a man or a woman, but whoever it was, I think it was a woman. In my head, it was an older woman, was yelling at the person that, and it might not even really have been a woman, but in my dream, I think it was an older woman, turns and sees me watching them freak out and starts yelling at me and chasing me. Oh, why are you staring? Mind your business.
Yeah.
And so I run into my dad's house and she starts beating on the door.
Oh my gosh.
And my dad has to deal with it in my dream. And that's all. That's the dream. That's it. It has been 40 years, 42 years. And I remember that dream like yesterday.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
That is wild.
Like, I think I can only picture that house. They only lived in it like 2 years. I think I can only picture that house because of that dream. Because in my head, I can see
got burned into your
the
memory.
situation.
Yep.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Yeah,
Dreams? So I can't remember any other damn dream. I can have a dream last night and I'm not going to remember it.
You don't remember? See, I remember my dreams. Not like as time goes by, I will lose more details and stuff like that. But every single night, when I wake up the next morning, I know exactly what I dream. I dream in color. I dream very vividly.
If I don't talk about it the moment I wake up, it is gone before I get out of the house.
I'll lose a lot of stuff though, because I write poetry in dreams too, and songs in dreams, and sometimes I'll sleep with a pad next to me, so when I have a couple that I'll wake up and that I'll see that I've written stuff down that I don't even remember writing it, and so I'm like, oh, this is good. Like, I didn't even know I could do this, but So
isn't that funny?
I'll try and remember to. I was gonna bring one because I was gonna share it, so I'll try to remember to bring it next time so that I can read some of it
and share it with us. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so that's dreams.
Okay, so we have a listener message. It's not really a message; it's a Facebook comment.
Oh, did you get it on Facebook?
I did. I got it. That was actually in the comment section of Facebook.
Oh,
and so I thought it was extra cool. So on the last episode, they had just listened to the episode. It was on. I posted the episode, and it was on the post for the episode. And remember we asked on the last one, how would you describe our podcast? Because it's hard to describe. So it deals with that. Remind me to give a disclaimer after this.
All right.
Okay. So this is from, I screenshot it and I forgot to screenshot her name. So I'm going to go back to that. Okay. So it wouldn't fit. That's why. Kimberly Michelle. I know her. Like I know her face and her, she comments a lot. Anyway, so she put, I have so many comments. For starters, I absolutely enjoyed Bo. The next one was, what's Rick's thoughts about the Mother's Day video? Which his thoughts were, y'all are ridiculous.
Right.
You have probably increased the number of streams Outlaw Woman has gotten between Third Wheel and y'all's podcast by thousands. I have never heard of that song myself and immediately went to listen to it after the Third Wheel episode. I don't know how I would describe the podcast other than that it is time well spent and you never listen to an episode and leave disappointed. It is entertainment gold and spending time with you and Kelly is always the best part of my day. So I guess it would be two girlfriends talking, but strangers are always welcome.
I love that.
I
true.
don't think you could have put it better. And that's the first person that actually answered it.
Yeah.
But even if it wasn't the first person that answered it, her comment was so... Oh, look, Kimberly Mitchell. I was close. I was Michelle.
Shout out, Kimberly.
And I was like, that nailed it.
Yeah. Nail on the head right there.
It did. And I absolutely loved it. So thank you, Kimberly. And I'm sorry I said Michelle instead of Mitchell. I immediately screenshot it and sent it to Kelly. And I was like, I love this.
Yeah, me too.
And we say it every time we talk about something that that a listener says, we talk about it. We really listen to them and like them, but I really like it when y'all get it. Like my faults, I laugh at. I want you to laugh at them because I want you to know you're not alone.
No,
we all fuck up.
We got you.
Yeah, we're all little messes.
Beautiful little mess.
We are. I'm a little disaster over here. Beautiful little disaster. My other thing was, do you have another listener? Is that all the listener messages we had for right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to my next story. I had a situation yesterday. You have not heard this story yesterday.
I know. I'm excited.
So I'm coming home from work, pick up my son. He's in the truck with me, and this truck pulls up. They're in the right lane. There's two lanes. They're in the right lane of the highway. I'm in the left lane coming home. and there's no one else around us. It's just the two of us, and it's a dump truck. And you know how dump trucks, if they're carrying like rocks or something, have those mesh things that go over the load?
Yeah.
So it doesn't fly out, obviously. They didn't have their mesh thing closed. And I don't drive behind dump trucks because I know better. But I'll pull I have to be in one of the lanes.
Yeah.
So I'm in the other lane. Well, this dump truck's going really slow. Like they're going like 15 miles below the speed limit probably. And this is Texas. We like to go 20 over.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to go the speed limit, you know? So write that down. Damn it. Shots.
They're wasted right now. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't even remember this part of the podcast.
Yeah. Like they're what? Oh,
Yeah.
I was gone after graduation.
Yeah, my bad. And so as I'm driving, and I'm like, okay, I got to pass this guy because I don't want to be behind him because I'm afraid of rocks. I see the mesh is not closed. I'm aware of my situation.
Right.
So I go to pass him. I'm about 2 car lengths behind him on the left side. They're on the right side. And a rock flies out of the dump truck. And it's a pretty big rock. It's big enough I didn't hear it. I saw it before it hit.
Oh.
And so it hit my windshield and it left a pretty good crack.
Yikes.
And I was pissed
I bet,
because
man.
my truck is a year and a half oldish and in perfect condition. Not a ding on the thing. I park in the back of the parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
You know, fucker.
It's okay. Just keep
Shot.
going.
And so I'm pissed and I'm like, damn it. I'm going to have to replace that windshield. Like, you know, I'm going to have to deal with this situation and pay money. And then I go to pass him because I don't want another rock to hit me. And I see he's on his cell phone. And it's against the law to drive a commercial vehicle like that and use a handheld device. You can talk on your phone via speaker, but not a handheld device. Yeah. No license plate on the back. Turns out in Texas, you don't have to have a license plate on the back of those commercial vehicles. They have to be on the front. I didn't know that. No license plate on the back. I pull up next to him. He's on his phone. He has no clue I'm even looking at him or what happened. So I told my son, take a picture of him on his phone and take a picture of the company. I'm calling the company. And I have had dings in my windshields before, but I didn't know who did it or it was an accident. Like it just, you know, they hit a rock and it flew up.
Yeah.
That happened.
Oh yeah, because they have those disclaimers. But if you're they're not even trying to check all their boxes to make sure it doesn't happen.
He did not secure his load.
Exactly. That's not cool.
And they do put that on the back of trucks, like not responsible. I looked it up. They are responsible.
Ooh.
They're lying. They just don't want you to sue them.
They're just trying to make you believe that you can't do it.
Right. And so I'm like,
Fires me up.
I pull up next to him, take a picture. Their phone number's on the side. The company's on the side. And so I'm like, all right. So I call him and no one answers. So I leave a message. Hey, I just got my rock. Da-da-da-da. Told him what happened. Obviously, don't call me back. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, you know what? Where is this place? It said Waxahachie on the side of his truck.
Ooh.
I Google it. I have my son Google it.
I love it.
I'm like, oh, it's 5 miles away. That's where we're going.
Bet.
So we head over there. We get over there. He's right behind me the whole way. He's going the same way.
Oh, even better.
So I get there. There's no one there. Like there's no office there. It's just like a bunch of dirt piles.
Yeah.
You know?
It's okay.
And so, bless my heart. So the guy gets out of his truck. I'm like, hey, you just put this hole in my windshield. And it's a pretty big one. I was like, you just did that. How do I know I did that? I said, how do I know you did it? Because I saw you do it. That's how I know you did it. There was no one else around us. You didn't see me on the highway next to you taking pictures.
Oh, what? You probably didn't.
And he goes, no. I said, of course you didn't because you're on your phone. In fact, you were on your phone until you got here and parked. I watched you because I got in front of you on your phone for at least 6 miles. And I was like, and that's against the law. You should not be on your phone. He goes, I don't know about that. I said, I do know about it.
Yeah, you don't have to know about it.
It is against the law.
I know about it.
And if you don't know about it, do you even have a commercial license? If you don't know that, are you just playing stupid? What's going on? And I'm trying not to be a Karen, but this is about to cost me $500 because they didn't secure their load. You know? So I'm like, okay. And I'm like, you don't have your load secured. You don't have well, I don't have to because it wasn't fully loaded and da da da. And I was like, well, it had one rock. It had one very large rock that hit me. So yes, you do need to secure your load. And I was like, I'd like your insurance information. He goes, man, we're not responsible for that. I said, I'll be the judge of that. Give me your insurance information. He refused. I said, call your owner. He calls the owner. The owner said, we don't have to give it to you. I said, that's fine. I got a picture of you on your cell phone driving. I'm going to pull it in. I'm going to turn it in tech stop. You want to go that way? Let's go that way.
You need to lawyer up, man. Ooh, because nowadays they can go back and because you have a timestamp on the photo, they can they can court order the records of their phone and to see if the phone was active during that time.
Yeah.
And if so, man,
and it definitely was.
They're paying.
And I said, you shouldn't have been on the phone. You were driving dangerously slow, like way under the speed limit. I said, I was trying to figure out how to get around you because I couldn't figure out why you were driving like that. And then I realized you're on your phone right after your rock hits me. And then we both get here. And now you're telling me you're not going to give your insurance. No, we're not responsible. I said, you will be responsible. And no, he's being a dick. I said, that's fine. I'll handle it. So I leave there. I called police, asked them what I can do. The police are like, you can definitely do something. He is definitely liable for things like that. So they tell me what to do. They tell me the report to file.
I love it.
I do all that. And then my friend calls me who's in trucking. She goes, ooh, we're going to report him to TxDOT. Let me tell you how to do it. She's helped me report him to TxDOT.
Shout out, Fran.
So the moral of the story is, fuck these motherfuckers. Why should I pay $500 because you didn't secure your load? Now, had he secured his load and a rock hit me, I'd be like, okay, that happens.
Yeah.
It does happen.
It does.
But he did not secure his load. And then he's on his cell phone.
Yeah.
He has no regard for anybody.
Be a dick about it.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm sorry. 3 strikes and you're out, man.
I told him, I was like, listen, I'm not a Karen, but I know everybody in this county. And I'll just make sure they know who not to do business with.
Petty crime fighter.
Petty crime fighter. Petty ass bitches. That is county. Oh, queen. Petty ass queen, not bitch. Same thing.
It just kind of rolls off the tongue. You know?
So that's what happened yesterday. The other thing that happened yesterday, yesterday was Tuesday, and then Thursday maybe last week. I don't know. It happened last week, and then it happened again yesterday. And I work in an environment with a large amount of Hispanic people.
Right.
If you know me, you know I surround myself with a large amount of Hispanic people. I'm in Texas.
I mean, yeah, they're kind of awesome.
A large part of my family is at least partial Hispanic.
They do a lot of things well.
My boyfriend is half white, half Hispanic. My best friends.
My best friends, half white, half Hispanic.
You and Mary are half and half.
Yeah.
As well as all my other friends that are full blood. Like, I know more Hispanic maybe than white people. Like, I have a very good community. My son's very serious girlfriend, Hispanic. Look, there's Zaley calling me.
Oh,
see?
hi, Zaley.
And it's been 40 minutes.
We're still alive.
Oh, she made it an hour.
So proud.
I know. And so I'm like, this is, and I work with Hispanic people and love them. So this older white gentleman who I always liked, he's an older guy and he's a customer, and he comes in and he just randomly goes on a rant about black people and drops the N word with a hard R in the middle of my work, in the front of me and everybody else. And I didn't know what to do. I was taken aback. He was so blatant and loud.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, and even in construction, it was shocking. Okay. And then, and my boss was around the corner, so he couldn't see my boss, but my boss could hear him. And my boss, I looked at him and he looked at me and we were like,
what are we supposed to do?
yeah. And he just wouldn't shut up. He just kept going on and how they're ruining America. And I'm like,
no, you're ruining America.
I'm just, meanwhile, my coworker can't hear that great and he has no clue what he said. He did kind of say it quick. And so he just keeps bantering with him. And
oh gosh,
my boss and I are like, like, we don't know what to do. Do you kick him out? Like, what do you do?
I would have.
Well, he was already leaving. He was literally walking out the door. So he leaves and we look at it, we're like, oh my God, did you hear what I heard today? Yeah, that is what he said, right? That's what he said. And the other guy's like, he said that? I didn't even, maybe, okay. I thought he said this. Shocking. It's the first time I've worked there for 10 years. Like I said, this is the first.
Wow.
I've never heard anyone say anything negative, like especially hard R. Like, no. Then yesterday, guy comes in and starts, older white man, and starts ranting about Hispanic people and Mexicans, and he is going off. Most of the employees I work with are Hispanic. 90% of my customers are Hispanic. I'm gonna take offense, and so he just is going off. And I said, and he goes, you know what I mean? And I said, I mean, not so great because my boyfriend's Mexican, and his face just dropped. I said, as are half my family and my best friends. So no, I
not there with you.
Know what you mean.
No,
sorry.
Gonna have to pick another crowd.
Yeah. And you know what he was trying to convince me of?
What?
There's no hardworking Mexicans.
Oh, good. That ship is not going to sail here. I'm so sorry.
I was like,
So very sorry.
okay. I had to bite my tongue because I was at work, but I did stand up. I was polite. I was politically correct. I understood it was a customer, and I was not going. What's the point? I'm not going to change this old man's feelings. Right. But I did when I told him, yeah, I know what you mean. My boyfriend's Hispanic and very successful.
Very hardworking.
I'm very hardworking. If he's anything, he's hardworking.
Yeah.
And
not many other things.
Yeah.
Actually, he is.
Yeah. And I want, yeah, you know.
That's definitely one of the things.
Yeah. I wanted to be like, fuck you, motherfucker. No. Anyway, and I just thought to myself, the only reason they're comfortable saying this is because I'm white.
Right.
That's the only reason, because I'm white. Wrong bitch.
Right?
Wrong bitch. Even if I didn't have a Mexican boyfriend, I wouldn't put up with it.
Yeah. So that's funny because, well, it's not funny, but I have a story to go along with that. And today we were given the kids got out of school early. And so we were giving them a couple of like extra snacks throughout the day because, you know, they're kids, they eat all the time. Well, we'd given them some crackers and cheese at one point and going around, okay, do you want this or no? And I was giving them to the older kids, and one of the older kids took out one of the crackers, and he was like giggling and laughing. He was like holding it up, like, because everybody else except for one person in there is white, and so he's like like comparing the cracker to everybody else that's in the room. Well, there's one African American girl in the room as well, and I look at him and I'm like, you can't be doing that. He's like, why? I was like, just because you are white doesn't mean that you can make fun of other white people. I was like, that's still being racist. It's still, you can't do that.
You know,
like, why are you going to act like that? That's so wrong. And I was thinking, because if a African American was doing exactly what you were doing, you would take offense to it, and you'd be like, "Oh, you can't do that. That's racist." You can't do it either. I was like, you need to set a better example. So horrible. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that was kids, man.
Adult kids and old men,
and that's what I try to. That's one of the things that I like working with kids, because in my mind, I'm hoping that I get to them soon enough that I can make some kind of change, or at least make them think a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because you can't just assume that parents are doing it these days. Some are trying their best.
Right.
Others, not so much. Like, why am I having to teach your 16-year-old son that he should hold a door open for somebody who's coming after them? Yeah. Doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman or a child. Right. Like, you should hold the door open, especially if they're like, you can obviously see that they're carrying something. Yeah. Be a gentleman and hold the door open.
But I will tell you, it is a Southern thing. So when I've been up north or I've been in California, no one holds the door for you, and it's really shocking. But I had a friend move here from up north, and she said the opposite. Like, it's weird. Why are people holding the door?
Yeah. But see,
it's a Southern thing, I think.
Well, you were in the South.
Yeah.
You better hold.
Absolutely.
You need to be holding those doors open.
Absolutely. And my younger son will not always do it. And I get on his ass. And I'm like, you hold the door, especially for women. You hold the door, period. I don't care what age she is. You hold the door. I don't care if there's 40 people you have to hold the door for.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I hold the door for people. Like, I don't just assume or think that guys should be doing it all. If I'm the first person to a door, I'm holding the door open for people until somebody takes it from me. And usually that will happen. Like, once, if I'm holding it open for a group of people, the first man that comes into contact with the door is taking that door from me, thanking me, and then I can move on because he's got it from there.
Right. Exactly. How
we're all in this together. Okay. Like, that's how it works. So, but those are the kind of things, and the types of racial comments that kids make, or the type of like sexual comments that they make, you know, when women are present. And I have to tell them, like, there's certain things that you don't say when you're in the mixed company. Okay. Yeah. I can't like tell you what you can and can't think, and what you can and can't say to your friends. Like, I'm not gonna, but I can let you know, like, it's being respectful. You're not going to be vulgar, or, you know, like, just like you're not supposed to, that's an old thing, but you're not supposed to cuss in front of women and stuff like.
Yeah. Why the fuck would you cuss in front of fucking women?
I mean,
assholes.
But these are young guys. You know what I mean? Like I'm wanting to instill something in
Manners.
them, you know, like, but you can't assume that they already know it because they definitely don't.
Because you don't know what's going on in their household.
No.
Yeah.
You can't.
That's sad. We got to work on it. We got to do better.
Dang crackers.
I would like to add Zaley has now called me a second time. The second time directly after I text her, stop calling me, I'm recording, and called me again. I'm like, stop calling me, I'm recording. Okay, mama. I guarantee you it's over the silliest thing you've ever heard.
Right.
Where's the throw blanket? That was what the first phone call was.
What's for dinner? Do I need to eat a snack right now,
I know.
or is it going to be ready?
Well, she has a senior activity tonight. So
that's it too.
Yeah.
That's it too.
This is the last senior
You better
activity
get out of here
before the graduation. So we finally made it in the home stretch.
Home stretch.
So we do need to get out of here. So I guess next week we'll be back to discuss what happens this weekend. If I kill any children, I'm try not to. Well, I guess we won't discuss it. I'll be in jail. But, you know, Kelly, I will be here.
You let me know if you need some help.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Until then, you got anything else?
No, we're good.
You want to find
made
us?
it through our list.
Oh, I did want to say this for anyone that made it through this whole hour and 18-minute podcast. Is a long one. We were worried we wouldn't have enough material. And look at us.
I don't know why we ever worry.
I told everybody I would post that birthday thing. I mean, that Mother's Day thing. And I did, but I shared Zoe's and I didn't realize she had it set to private.
Oh.
So I have her unsetting it to private and I will reshare it.
Nice.
And y'all can watch it.
And our tally is that I believe we're at 6. You know what it means? I'm pretty sure there was more than that I didn't catch before. Mm-hmm. And it looks like 10, 11, 14 you-knows, which is probably more than that. So
most of our listeners are now drunk.
If you were
they might have alcohol poisoning.
If you were playing the you know what I mean game,
you're drunk.
You're definitely not still here. So
get a ride home. Yeah. If you're not
do
already
not
home.
drive.
Do not drive. I apologize. You know what I mean? No. All right, we'll talk to y'all later. Find us on Instagram and Facebook. Kelly is on Instagram as
Kelly Lady Pearl.
I'm Z Mamacita, and I'm Zada Owens on Facebook.
And if you'd like to email the podcast, I don't know why you would because nobody does, but it's 2 Sides and the Truth Podcast at Outlook.com.
And we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.